Meanwhile, the Silver Path. The Silver Road. Have fun playing Xenoverse, Gingaman. I'm concerned about that motherfucker.
No way! Take that!
Oh, what the hell? Had a death cry. That's concerning.
Well, that takes care of that.
What were those things? They looked like reapers you'd find in a fairy tale. I felt the same way. The devils we've encountered shouldn't be able to exist, but in different sense, neither should those fiends. This definitely isn't going to be easy. Welcome back, one on Audit Trails in the Sky 3. I am the TheDarkSeraph. Last time, we got to this freaky-ass place. The Silver Road. We did the Golden Road last time. Give me blood. I'm gonna walk away from that.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest.
Yeah, pitiful souls, whatever. Well, it doesn't matter because you gotta level up. Going straight leads to treasure.
Take that! Upon the golden
Yeah, I'm not letting them get a... Okay, summon a freaking archangel.
pitiful souls, may you rest in...
I was not about to let any of them get off a freaking death blow. Gaia grieves. That was quite unfortunate for the sun. A single glance at her curious yet simple smile, and he knew he would crave to whatever she said. Doubly unfortunate since he was also the one she would side with.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you...
Miso fish. You took all I had. You happy now? HP 3. Despite first impressions, it was as much a shop as any other. Along the same street, a shop was still a shop even after it was no longer full to bustling with wealthy customers, or any customers really. This empty chest was brought to you by... Oh, you. I have no idea what the hell that sound was. I don't know if you heard it or not. It sounded like shrieking. suppose it's possible it could have been a firework, but I don't know. Never heard a firework like that.
Take that! Yeah! Told you I could handle this.
Actually, it might be the train. I do live in a railroad town. May just been the brakes of the train. Reviving bomb. Enforcer number 20. The empty chest. Silver earring. Or so he believed. There was a pause and noise after the question was raised, and seconds later, they both heard the flat-footed thumping of the daughter's steps coming towards them. Did you call for me, Mom? Prevents poison. Yeah, I want Claudia to be protected from status effects. Oh, hello.
Eat that! See? Take it down! Take it!
These are a little tougher. Nothing that can't be managed, but a little tougher. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Take it! Told you I could handle this.
A moon door. Bring to me the darling of pure white radiance, in proof of her scholarship. Only then shall the door open. I'll have to look that up.
Take that! Take it! No way! For the sake of my master!
Yeah, I got nothing on that one. Stinger M. Well, Josette gets a new toy. If you are looking for gold, you'll find not 1 gram. Puns. Hold on, I want to go back for that chest. Skull pendant. Did you know Arteria supposedly comes from the English word for artery? Artery. Is that how you spell artery? Yes. Maybe that makes sense. A few chests along the way. Like, Arteria is the lifeblood of the Septian Church, so coming from artery would make sense. You again? At least Phantom Thief B is a gentleman. Phantom Thief B is a jackass. Justice must always prevail. A Attack level 3. And you're gonna have a... Sylvan. What? This seems familiar somehow. Something wrong? Not at all. I thought I may have seen this weapon before, but it must have been my imagination. It certainly seems like a capable one, though. A well-used but well-crafted silver Templar sword. I'm guessing that was her sister's sword. Have fun playing Ace Attorney there, Tarmantis. Pearl Earring Plus.
For the sake of my master!
Reviving Balm. An empty coffer, devoid of any treasure. Go seek another. Another haiku. We have the end of this one. That means a boss encounter. And if it's going to be anything like the other one, it's going to be a phantom of Kevin. Oh. Could that be the exit, perhaps? It certainly seems to be. I wonder if Kevin and his group are on the other side. Looks like they're not going to let us out of here without a fight. What? Father Kevin? Chariots. Kevin!
Go! Stand up! Strike as one!
Oh, you fuckhead.
Take it! This is bad.
I don't have a thallus.
Right! Take that! No way! Huh.
Oh, those things are hitting hard. And it's got a death blow attack. I don't have a means to defend against it. It's weak to space. Do I have a space art? No.
Take that! This is
Fuck!
Go! Stand up!
Okay. This thing's gonna take some punishment. Oh, jeez. Oh, that doesn't count because it doesn't actually deal damage.
Told you I could handle this.
Oh, you asshole! Another one down.
Go! Stand up! This is bad.
For fuck's sake.
Go! Stand up! Right! Take that!
Die already, Jesus.
Pansies!
And there's another sealing stone. So who am I getting out of these? That seems to be the end of the trial. Although I certainly wasn't expecting that to be a fiend that had perfectly disguised itself as Kevin. True, I wasn't. Oh. Ries? Are you alright? You weren't hurt, were you? I'm fine. I was just so relieved to find out it wasn't the really Kevin. And now that the fight is over, it seems clear to me that the battle was a trap set by our foes. Those bizarre cannon fiends are further evidence. Let's hurry through that door. I am quite concerned for the other group. Ries! Thank goodness. You're the real deal, alright. Thank Adios. I was worried as hell about you, you know? Like I said, the same to you. Still, it looks like those must have been some really... What? It looks like those really must have been Grimoires then. It does. Is that the name of those fiends we encountered? You got it. They're a type of fiend mentioned in the Testaments. Although maybe fiend isn't the best word. They're said to be what souls eventually turn into after being thrown into Gehenna. People's souls turn into these? It's not a very pleasant thought. As I'm sure you know, the Church teaches that the souls of sinners end up in the fiery depths of Gehenna. There, they are tormented by the ceaseless flames, slowly losing their own sense of self over time. Till finally, they said to end up as nothing more than a chaotic lump of a spirit known as a Grimoire, whatever. I'm getting goosebumps just picturing it. That's what those shape-shifting creatures we encountered were? Yes. The mirrors and cannons that appear with them are all cursed items that have the same origin. How they did it, I don't know, but it seems our enemies have literally opened the gates of Gehenna. Ha ha! That's quite a fitting metaphor. This guy. You again. Look who decided to show their ugly mug. Did your lord send you to come check up on us? That is one of the roles I have been assigned, albeit not the only one. I am impressed by how quickly you've progressed, even if it was with a significant amount of Hermit's guidance. The Hermit? Who's that? The ghost we keep running into? I can't think of anyone else. She's been helping us in various ways since we arrived here, and yet we still have no idea who she is. Indeed. I speak of her. She is a spirit that was left behind in the Phantasma, as well as the master of the Hollow Garden. Of course, thanks to my lord, most of her power can do little other than a struggle as your guide. As usual, your cryptic nonsense just goes right over my head. But hey, if she's your enemy, that makes her our ally. I'll leave that for you to find out. Her position is hardly your concern at this time. I have a message for you from my lord. What is it, bird? You don't like it when I talk in this flat, unassuming tone? A bit cold, you could say? Your next destination is the path of beasts. Devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more. Then shall the flames of Gehenna burn ever fiercer, and my kingdom draw closer to its completion. What? What is that supposed to mean? My lord says that you may choose to interpret the message however you see fit. My task was simply to relay it to you. Kevin? Sorry, I couldn't help but laugh. Tell me, what sad glasses did you and that joke of a boss you got to take to get your certifications in how to be a big bad? Nice touch trying to confuse us by spewing that cryptic bullshit. Bet you thought we'd be up all night trying to figure it out. I mean, the overblown theatrics make it a bit too obvious that it's fake, don't you think? Well, you about done with us? If you are, how about you get lost? We got better things to do with our time than listen to some nonsensical riddles from a guy who can't even bother to show his face. I see you're quite fond of the gift granted to you by my lord. Does it bring back memories? Gift? Kevin? You think you can get away? Fear not. We will encounter one another again before long. I am, after all, Phantasma's foremost guardian. And with that, I bid you wale. I don't know why I used the Latin word for farewell. I mean, that's what vale means. It means farewell. I don't know why I used Latin. I don't know why I say it in Latin. For some reason, I just picture him sounding like Volpes Inculta from Fallout New Vegas. And maybe that's why I'm having him say Wale when he says farewell. So that was the Schwarzenritter you mentioned. Yeah, he's the picture of his lord, right down to taunting us as he leaves. Too bad for him that it doesn't take a genius to work out that they're both bluffing. Your next destination is the path of beasts. Devour the new offering presented to you, and display your seal once more. Then shall the flames of Gehenna burn ever fiercer, and my kingdom draw closer to its true completion. Is the villain of this game Satan? Or actually, more accurately, Solomon's wrote that the king of hell, or Gehenna in this case, was a demon named Baal. His words sound as though they have some specific meaning to me, but they could be taken in a number of ways at face value. We could try to unravel said meaning, but that may hinder our progress more than help in the long run. My thoughts exactly. Anyway, what's definitely not going to hinder us is going back to base and seeing who's in those 2 sealing stones we picked up. If we activate that monument over there, we'll be able to come right back here to continue exploring. Thank goodness, it's right there, too. Wonder who's going to be inside. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play the next cutscene. That's the end of Chapter 3. Not much of a point to save there if I'm going to play the cutscene and see who I get. Oh well, I saved anyway. Kevin Graham. In the name of the goddess above, I hereby appoint you a squire of the Septian Church. I humbly accept my appointment. I pledge to offer my soul to the goddess above, and both body and blood to her church on earth. Very good. It is exceedingly rare for one at your age to be appointed to this position. I can only assume your aptitudes and training achievements warranted it. May you strive to be a worthy guardian of the goddess's sacraments as her loyal and devoted servant. Ein Selnot. Well, if it isn't Kevin, I see you managed to avoid having your promotion rejected by the top brass. Splendid, splendid. Instructor, I really can't thank you enough for all you've done for me. I never dreamed I would have an actual Dominion supervising my training. How sweet of you to say. Hard to believe you're the same boy who waltzed up before the congregation of the sacraments shouting, "Make me a knight." I'd appreciate it if you chunked that memory back into the furthest reaches of your mind. Oh, but how could I? Had I missed your groveling, I never would have been taken an interest in you in the first place. And not in a million years would I have thought you were related to Rufina. You could have asked her to take you as her pupil before resorting to such drastic measures, you silly boy. Well, I had my reasons. Let's leave it at that. Very well. It doesn't matter at this point. Congratulations, you're now a dog of the church, just like the rest of us. It's good to have you on board. Thank you. I'm not sure that's the most reassuring metaphor to be using on the new recruits, though. You might scare them right off. Please. You're not trying to position yourself as some sweet, doe-eyed thing, are you? Besides, I think it's a perfectly apt description for us. We go around sniffing out sacraments wherever they may be, tearing through the throats of the heretical fools who enamored themselves with all the while. Can you spot the difference? Come on, instructor. I'm used to you at this point, but I don't really care if you call me a dog. But you care if I call your beloved Rufina one, don't you? Don't worry, Kevin. I can read between the lines well enough. Well, did I guess right? I owe her a lot, but I wouldn't call her my beloved. She's just like a big sister to me. That's all. You're making it sound like Like you what, exactly? Rufina. I thought you were in Rimaferia. Indeed I was, but I tried to finish as quickly as possible so I could be back for your appointment ceremony. I'm so proud of you, Kevin. It's amazing just how fast you've grown, and now you're a full-fledged adult like me. Thanks for going out of your way to come here. I'm not sure I deserve to be called an adult yet, though. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and if I want to be the knight the two of you are... Oh my, how modest of you. By the way, have you let Ries know all about this yet? Not yet. I'm planning to write her tonight. She's been real mad at me ever since I decided to come to Arteria, though. Hopefully this will cheer her up a bit. There's not much else I can do to make it up to her in the short while I'm going home. Short of going home, whatever. Perhaps we should do that together at some point if we can find the time. Oh, and while I had the chance, thank you so much for looking after him this time, Ein. You've given up such much of your free time, and I really do appreciate it. Think nothing of it. It proved quite a fun way to kill time. He has a fair amount of potential in combat arts and thaumatology too. Thaumatology. I looked up how to pronounce this and I don't remember. It's a shame all of his skills are the practical side of things, however. His academic side is less than stellar. I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that might be the case. Alright, I've got to get going. I had to pick up my room key and medal from the General Affairs guys. I'll talk to you later. What's this? You look so concerned. Feeling guilty because he followed you into a dangerous line of work? Not at all. That was completely up to him, and him alone. I could never try to dictate his life choices. It's just that... I think he'll make a fine knight, personally. He checks all the boxes, he's got the potential, he's got the determination. All in all, I can see why you're proud of him. And, call it a hunch, but I wouldn't be surprised if a stigma manifested in him just like it has in you. Well, I'm impressed. I didn't think you could sense that of others if you didn't possess one yourself. Yet, one of the reasons to feel frustrated that you aren't a Dominion. I know we're friends, but there's no need for the flattery. My combat and thaumatology abilities are average at best. I wouldn't be cut out for the job at all. I'm grateful enough to have been promoted from Squire to Knight. That's the upper limit for someone with my lack of potential. If you saw things the way I do, someone with average at best abilities couldn't have handled your Ouroboros' case half as well as you did. Fighting off a man that reported strength to a swift enough conclusion would be a pretty feather in anyone's cap. It was just my luck that we both came to an understanding. As far as Kevin goes, he wouldn't need to rely on luck. His potential for growth extends further than I'll ever be able to go. But he has one weakness holding him back. That poor boy is just far too kind. So kind, in fact, that I can see him driving himself into a corner because of it. The Dark Stigma, Chapter 4. That looks like Olivert and Zin. Zin? Prince Olivert. Now this is a surprise. I don't think this is a dream, at least. Indeed, it is not. I would have been overjoyed to share a sweet date with Shara in my dreams, one with a fine drinking companion. Not so much. Ha ha ha! Yeah, this is real, alright. Still, doesn't Shara count as a drinking companion too? In a way. It's fine to be drunk with the joy of her company, but it is very much the opposite to be drunk with alcohol involved. That's one of the most important lessons I learned during my stay in Liberl. Truer words have never been said. But alright, enough playing around. You guys mind filling us in on what kind of situation we've got ourselves into? I like how they're taking this extraordinarily well. We shall make the embraces and tearful greetings afterward. Honestly, you two really are something special. You'd think you'd be a little shaken finding yourselves in somewhere as unnatural as this out of nowhere. This is quite the pickle. I appreciate that this may be hard to believe, but that is the situation we find ourselves in at the present time. If we're to try and find a way out, we'll need you to accept that. Ah, Mueller, my sweet rose-kissed muse. Ever pure and free of thorns, you misunderstand me. I've long accepted our current predicament as reality. Then why do you look so deep in thought? Need you even ask? Perhaps my life's toughest decision lies ahead of me. Before me, I find Joshua, Princess Claudia, Tita, Josette, and there's Julia, and even a new face, Ries. Just whom shall I gather into my arms like a warm blanket in exchange for sweet nothings in celebration first? Ugh. Only you. Joshua? You were pulling my leg when you said this guy was an Erebonian prince, right? Hard as it is to believe, he is. Putting my deeply earnest dilemma aside for the time being, it sounds as though you've been making some headway in unraveling the mysteries behind this place. Naturally, I would be more than honored to help with that. But first, you've got a few questions for you need to ask, right? I know I sure do. If I remember correctly, the first time you met her was on the balcony of Grancel Castle. Yes, indeed. She gave us a key that allowed us to eventually find and rescue you. That was the first time she appeared to us as a ghost, but I don't believe it was the first time she directly communicated with you. Was it, Father? I don't think so. When Ries and I first arrived here, we heard a strange voice talking to us. We didn't have a clue who it belonged to at the time. But I think it was probably her. As do I. So at first, she existed only as a voice, but she's gradually started showing up with a body, too. I know it's a weird way to put it, but if it's true, it backs up what that man in black said. Yeah, he said the Lord of the Phantasma had stolen most of her power. He kept referring to her as the Hermit and the Master of the Hollow Garden. Plus, the inscription on that monument behind us has the Hermit's Garden written on it. I think all of us here can connect the dots just fine. Agreed. It's reasonable to conclude that this very garden is connected to her in some way. Makes sense to me. It also explains why this place is kind of comfy compared to the other weird fiend-infested places in Phantasma. Feels like we're getting closer to the truth with every new revelation. By the sounds of it, she's been in Phantasma for a while, probably since the beginning. But then she had her power stolen by the Lord of the Phantasma and ended up without a body. Since then, she's been trying to help us to the best of her abilities and guide us forward. If we assume all of that to be true, maybe the monuments scattered throughout are connected to her somehow. They seem to exist for that same purpose. Okay. Sorry for spacing out there. My throat's... Like I said, I got a catch in my throat. Well, from my perspective, they're awfully fixated on you. They seem to know about Ries's deceased sister as well. Then there's the fact that they've been able to summon devils from the church's text. It all seems to be pointing to you two, and you in particular. I can see why you'd ask, I guess. Unfortunately for you, I got nothing. If anything, I'd say they've seemed to be an enemy of the Gralzenritter as a whole rather than just me. Well, I suppose that's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if an organization like that had more than their fair share of enemies. No offense, of course, I have plenty of enemies myself. Try not to sound like it's something worth boasting about. Anyway, even if we're connected some dots, we'll have to save the mystery behind who our enemies are for another day. Yeah, okay. What's up? Did you have something you want to add? It's just I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to sit the next plane out. I'm sorry for troubling everyone, but please look after him on my behalf. He shouldn't cause too much trouble, but I'm sure you know he can be a little careless at times. Ries? Wait a second. Are you not going after her? Sorry. I'll be back in a minute. Ries! Wait a second. What's with you all of a sudden? Oh, I know. Are you feeling left out because I'm the only one? Okay, that's not supposed to look like that. I should have noticed earlier. I've been pretty insensitive, so I'm really sorry. When are you going to stop acting? It's true that I feel a little left out. I felt a little left out for a while. You've certainly gone through so much together, and it's made you that much more fond of each other in the days since. Yeah, we've had some amazing times. Hard to come out the other end of stuff we did without growing closer. Watching you all, how could I not have felt lonely? How could I not have felt jealous? You've been avoiding me for the past 5 years, Kevin. The thought that you've grown close to so many others, while going out of your way to keep me out of arm's reach, did make me sad. You know, I didn't mean it like that, Ries. But at the same time, I was still happy you did. I knew how badly what happened to Rufina had hurt you. How you were still blaming yourself for it. I knew how you were driving yourself into a corner over it, and how you were taking on nothing but dirty jobs as if it were trying to punish yourself. And I couldn't confirm it for myself, but I just knew the rumors that you were desperate to burn yourself out through them were true. So that's the reason. That's why, as lonely as I felt when you were off making new friends without me, I was really, really happy more than anything. Ries, you know what? Except it turns out you haven't made any new friends at all. You're pulling the same exact thing when you pulled with me. Every single one of them at arm's length. They get too close to you, you don't get too close to them. On the surface, you're a cheerful person having fun with everyone, but on the inside, you're as cold as can be. All you're doing is manipulating your own emotions so people think you're someone you're not. After watching you ever since you were reunited, that's become plain as day. Man, I'm happy you're worried about me, but you've totally got the wrong idea about this one. Sorry. I'm good at a lot of things, but pretending to be someone else, I'm not, but pretending to be someone I'm not isn't one of them. When I'm happy, you'll know about it. When I'm mad, well, I think you know I'm not good at hiding that either. I'm the same transparent guy I've always been. I didn't say you weren't easy to read, for me at least. After all, I know how genuinely shaken you were by the Lord of Phantasma's message. Their words, and the words of the Schwarzenritter always come across as cryptic, but not to you. Deep down, you know what they're talking about. You just constantly keep it from the rest of us and trying to keep us in the dark. No. Maybe you've managed to pull the wool over your own eyes, too. Come on now, you can't be serious. Devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more. You know exactly what that means, don't you? You know what? Maybe you should sit things out for a bit. You're clearly really tired. What? I get that you're angry. I get that you're as angry as you are upset with me. But I think it's starting to make you jump to some really out there conclusions. And being tired out's only going to make it worse. Can't you see how negative your line of thinking is? You can't seriously believe all this is actually true. I'm not saying I don't deserve all the anger. I do. I genuinely was busy at the same time. I wasn't sure how to face you if we did end up meeting either. Still, we're gonna be working together from now on, so enough. Everything you're saying is just meaningless. Maybe the others don't realize that, but how dare you think I, of all people, would fall for it? I realized I'm turning back on my duties as a squire by doing this, but I can't bear to be near you any longer. I can't stand to see the Kevin I thought I knew so empty. So... Kevin? Hey. I'm sorry you had to see that. Don't worry about it. I want to know something, Joshua. You've looked into me a fair bit since I first stepped onto the scene, right? I have. I know you're called the Heretic Hunter. I know that you're one of the 12 dominions that lead the Gralsenritter. And I know you undertake the execution of sinners the Church deems most unforgivable almost single-handedly. I figured you'd know your stuff. Wouldn't want any guys whose backgrounds you hadn't thoroughly vetted being close to your girlfriend for long, huh? I can't deny it. Still, the only people you harm are those sinners, never anyone else. So I decided that, for the time being at least, you weren't a threat to her or anyone else. I see. Weisman was your work too, wasn't it? Sure was. My job was to get rid of him. That's it. Everything I did with you guys leading up to that point was to get myself into a position to get it done without him catching on. That includes helping all of you out. I know. You must have been aware of the possibility that Estelle would have been taken on board the Glorious, too. You thought allowing it to happen would help you in the long run, so you kept quiet about it. Wow. Now, that one I'm surprised you pieced together. But yep, you're absolutely right. I figured there was a chance she might get abducted, but I did exactly nothing to stop it. All I cared about was finding out what Weisman and you were up to. And where you were. For that matter, couldn't use better bait for that than her. I thought so. And yet all of that doesn't change how I'm more grateful than words can express. Why is that? Because if you hadn't helped me back then, I would still be Weisman's puppet. I would have broken with my own hands what I value most in the world. That is a debt I will never be able to repay. Oh, sweet Adios, now you're just being cute. I know you're smart enough to realize that's not all why I threw you a bone, right? I wanted him off his guard enough to create an opening. Helping you was the perfect way to do that. That's all there was to it. And again, doesn't change how grateful I am to you. Knowing why you did what you did doesn't erase the gratitude I feel. It really is just as well you ended up quitting Ouroboros. You'd suck to high heaven if you were an enforcer now. Honestly, you're totally right. If Ries is sitting on the sidelines for now, let me help you in her place. I might not be as capable as helping you as she is, but I would be able to back you up. You don't need to feel indebted to me. Well, I'll take what I can get. No doubt you're worried sick about Estelle too. So there's your golden star. There's your gold star reason for helping me out. So thanks. I'm glad you've got my back. Right back at you. Okay, so Joshua's gonna take her place. Okay. So I want my healer. And I'm gonna take the new guy. And besides, I'm pretty sure there's a couple... whatever the hell it's called. Of those doors I can go to with Zen. I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails in the Sky 3. As I... well, track down one of those doors, go do a mission, go do a stretch of things, go to another door, and just you get the idea. I'm the Dark Seraph signing off.